Welcome home to USA Global TV and Radio. Ours is a place where dreams take flight, voices are heard, and stories are shared. This is where cultures meet, connections are formed, and ideas are transformed into action. This is your destination for authentic storytelling, diverse perspectives, and meaningful conversations. We're where global stories unite and bridges are built beyond all borders. Discover our world of education, entertainment, hope, and inspiration. Together, we're building bridges worldwide. Subscribe to our USA Global TV channel and download our USA Global TV app. Be our guest or join our team. Visit usaglobaltv.com. With heartfelt thanks to our executive producer, Dr. Jacqueline Kerbeck, music scored by Yifei Tang from Cloud Road Music, creative direction by Paul Garcia, and I'm Al Cini, and I'm very proud to be part of the USA Global TV and Radio family. So join us here at USA Global TV and Radio. Make us your home for global connection. All rights reserved. This video and its contents are the exclusive property of USA Global TV and Radio. Unauthorized use, duplication, or redistribution in any form is strictly prohibited. Thank you for being a part of our global community. Let's inspire together.
Hello and welcome to USA Global TV and Radio. This is It's Your Healthy Lifestyle show, hosted by the founder of this platform, Dr. Jacqueline Kerbeck, and myself, Roland Friedl. How important is your health and fitness to you? We show you how you can easily eat healthier every day, how you can improve your fitness and recover much quicker after your exercises and workouts. Families will learn how to optimize their children's health and nutrition. And finally, you will also hear how you live a long, healthy, and fit life into your old age. Join us here on It's Your Healthy Lifestyle.
To learn more, subscribe to our channels on YouTube, USA Global TV and Radio, and Dr. Jacqueline Kerbeck. Hello, everyone. I am Dr. Jacqueline Kerbeck. It's a pleasure to be here. I am coming to you live from Greece. How exciting. Our show today is It's Your Healthy Lifestyle. And we're going to be exploring a topic I personally have never looked at before. So I'm excited to get the show started. Also, for those of you who may not be aware, we are now coming to you in two different formats, in landscape as well as portrait. So you can watch us on your mobile devices and on your computers, just the way that you like. I am joined today by my dear friend who is in Europe, always traveling in his RV, and he sets aside time to make sure that he's here for the show, and he's got really good Wi-Fi, which goes to show we all have a choice on how we show up. What gets prioritized gets done. His name is Roland Friedl, and he and I have been together on this show and others for probably 4+ years. And this show is all about options for healthy lifestyles. We are not doctors. I have a doctorate, but I'm not a medical doctor. So please do check with whomever before you change anything. Let's welcome the man of the hour. He is a entrepreneur and entrepreneur. He is an author. He is a coach of some of the biggest companies in the world. And he's my friend, Mr. Roland Friedl. Welcome, sir.
Hello, Jacqueline. Great to see you again, my dear friend. It's great to see you again. Hello to our audience.
Yes, great to see you too, and hello to the audience. So, Roland, where in the world are you today?
Yeah, actually, I think we are on the same level in Europe. You're in Greece. I'm in south of Italy on the island of Sicily. And on the island of Sicily, so I moved here. Actually, I come Saturday a week ago, so about day 11 or something like that now in Sicily. Yeah.
Fantastic. Well, you're looking quite chipper, as they would say. Looks like you have a ton of energy. And I know that you've been doing, first you were doing water fasting, and then you started with a different type of fast. But before we get into that, for those who are new and joining for the first time, Roland, would you please introduce yourself?
Yeah, thank you. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, as you can hear from my accent, I'm Austrian. I'm a small country in the middle of Europe. For those who are not familiar with Europe, I'm a very small country, very famous for classical music. and for other stuff. So you're more than welcome to see my little country. There's a lot of culture, a lot of fantastic landscape, small but beautiful. Yeah, I'm Roland. Just from a background, just university. I was on different university in Austria, in the US, and so higher in Spain. I was studying different topics. I went to the corporate world, left it after 3 years because I had a very fast career. I was the youngest member of board of directors in a company. Started my own companies again. I say again because in school and university, I also had companies already. So I was very engaged and very active all my life, actually all my life. And this brings me to the healthy lifestyle, because when you're very active, when you work a lot and you love what you do. By this time I was married. I have 3 raised kids born in their 30s. I have grandchildren. So when you have a very active life, and for me the base of a very active life is health, because without health, you can perform in business. You don't have fun in private life, with your families, with your hobbies, with traveling, whatever. So health is very important. But my background is I'm an entrepreneur, and I had the pleasure and the honor for 30 years working together with the biggest tech companies in the world, mostly US companies, Canadian companies, or UK companies. And I was working for them in 3 languages. I did a lot of sales training, executive trainings, and I'm a so-called innovation consultant. So I'm teaching them how to be innovative, to bring new stuff to their clients, stuff like that. That's my business background, and I'm very into health. I do a lot of men's work. I'm writing books, publishing books, and I'm just, little secret, I'm just starting a publishing company, by the way. And yeah, so a lot of things to do. I love to travel, and as Dr. Jekyll mentioned, I live in my motorhome. So I left the island. I've been living on a beautiful island in the Mediterranean Sea. I left it 3.5 years. I live full-time in motorhome, in the winter in the south, in the summer more in the north. I work from there, and I guess I did, I don't know, more than 400 shows here in USA Global TV and Radio. And to be honest, I'm a very happy and a proud member, and feel very honored to be part of this family. And by the way, before we start the show, when you want to be a guest on one of our shows, or you want to run your own show, connect with us. And I can tell you my short story. I never have been a radio moderator, a TV moderator. I have been interviewed many times because I was very successful, but I was never a TV or radio moderator. I just started because I learned something from my mentor, Richard Branson. Maybe you know him from Virgin Air, Virgin Records, from hundreds of Virgin companies. And he said, when somebody offers you an opportunity that sounds amazing, just say yes and start, and learn later how to do it. And this is my journey with USA Global TV and Radio. Yeah, learning to be a moderator and listen to people. I joined several courses with Dr. Jekyll and Kerwin, becoming an elevated listener. I'm talking very fast because there's a lot of information to share, but that's all about me. And let's start with the healthy lifestyle.
Fantastic. Thank you so much. And we do love to hear from any of you who are out there. So we do have a comment from Coco and Andy's World. Hi, thank you so much for being here. It's nice to have you. Okay, so you did the water fasting, which you've done before. And by the way, I have to say, I did 25 hours of fasting when I was traveling. I don't like to eat or drink anything when I'm traveling in a plane or going to a different country. So I just had my water, and I didn't really have an urge to eat, but I knew I was going to the gym, and I went to the gym anyway, and I didn't have the energy level that I normally would have, like to be able to lift the heavy weight. So I did find that. What have you found when you're doing water fasting? Because you've been able to take it a lot longer.
Yeah, I did my fast when I left Austria. Now, so 2.5 weeks or something, almost 3 weeks. I left Austria, and on the way to Sicily, I made a stop over in the Tuscany area because there are some hot springs. Maybe you want to show a photo. Maybe you want to share a photo. I wish. Bring a picture from the hot spring so people get an idea. So in the Tuscany area, there's a hot spring. It's a sulfate. It's smelling a little bit, but it's very healthy. It brings down all the inflammation. It's good for your joints and your bones and so on. So I spent there 5 days, actually, from Sunday to Thursday. That's 5 days, yeah. And I decided, okay, I do my water fast there because it's a peaceful area. About a 15 minutes walk, there's a camping site. So I moved with my motorhome. We can show later our motorhome to the camping site. And there's a 15 minutes walk. And every day I walk down very early in the morning with my dog and spend a long time in these hot springs. Actually, when you see these terraces, you can lay down into the water.
during the day it's very crowded, but where the water comes out on the top of the picture, really from the rock, I went there because it's deeper there and the water is much faster because it's much narrower. The channel is much narrower, so the water is faster. So I tried to be there and spending about 40-45 minutes. And yeah, I did my water fast. And because when I do my water fast, I need space for myself. I don't want to talk to people. I don't want no noise. Unfortunately, there was no network, so we couldn't do the show because the network was, the upload was 0 point something. So unfortunately, we couldn't do any show there. This was my mistake. I didn't think about it just to come on Wednesday and do the show on Tuesday was my fault. But anyway, so for me, it was a very good combination. The water fast with this hot springs, this hot water was really good for myself. And I wouldn't say for the healing because I'm not sick. But the water fast, like always, I did it for 5 days. The first day, I'm a little bit crunchy, a little bit hungry, not that much. I have to say it was not 100% water fast. I didn't eat something, but I was drinking water, but I had a coffee in the morning, to be honest, because I learned from other water fasts when I also stopped. I'm a coffee lover, and I always say I don't drink coffee to wake up. I wake up in the morning to drink coffee because I love it. So I had a small coffee in the morning because I wanted to avoid my headache in the morning, because when you get rid of sugar, carbohydrates in food in general, and also maybe some people get rid of alcohol. I don't drink alcohol, I don't smoke, but when you get rid of some drugs like caffeine, you have a headache, and I wanted to avoid this headache, so I had a coffee in the morning, to be honest, a small one, and the rest of the day I had water. So I had a little bit hunger the first day, but it was not bad. Second day was a little bit worse, to be honest. I feel a little bit dizzy, a little bit crunchy, didn't feel good, and on Monday was not a very good day, but it was okay. The weather was nice, the landscape was amazing, the hot spring was fantastic. So this was helpful, and I got offline because, as I said, the network didn't work really. So I switch it off. And then for me, the magic day is always day 3. So for me, the worst days, to be honest, is day 1 and day 2. And to be honest, Dr. Jacqueline, day 1 and day 2, all my thoughts was around food. Actually, I had no craving. I don't know if you understand this. I had no craving. So I had no craving to look for something that is maybe somewhere in the motorhome or in the fridge. I had no craving like this. But my thoughts were all around food. And actually, I was enjoying to think about food without having a craving. It sounds weird maybe, but my thoughts were around food without having a craving. And then on day 3, it was gone. I feel on day 3, 4, and 5, I just felt good. The only thing I found out with the water fast is because behind the Canberra side, there is a hill, and on this hill is a small village. It's you walk like this, and I had problems to go up here. Really, I guess I'm in a very good condition. I'm very well trained because I work out. I always say 10,000 steps. Actually, I just checked my device before. I do an average of 15 to 17,000 steps a day with my dog. So I'm really trained, but I had problems to get up. It was hot. I did bring some water, but I had to sit down 2 times because it was dizzy and something like that. So yeah, and I did not work out at all because I found out, I don't know, this time I didn't have the power for the workout. But I believe that my system had struggles because of not eating. And on the other hand, the hot springs. The hot springs is also very challenging for your body, especially when you stay too long in this hot water. So I think the combination of water fasting, being in this hot springs, was challenging for my body. And so I did not have any workout. That's what the water fasting started. And when you do water fast, you don't buy food, you don't prepare food, you don't eat food, you don't clean dishes or whatever. So you have plenty of time. So when I was thinking about what's next, what's about how to break the fast and what's going on next? Because after this 5 days in the spring, I was heading down south to go on the ferry to the island. And I knew that same like an airplane, I don't eat on an airplane. I just drink water. And I know on the ferry, the food is crap. I cannot barbecue a steak or something, but mostly I'm carnivore. I cannot bring my own food. That doesn't work there. So what to do? And I said, should I continue my water fast, maybe 2 or 3 days going on the ferry and the trip down or something like that? or should I do something different? And I remember that I found an interesting article from a doctor talking about Sardine Fast, and so I came to the Sardine Fast. Make a long story short.
Thank you so much, Roland. I appreciate that. Yeah, to the point that you just made, that's what I found when I've done fasting, usually before colonoscopies. I've gone 40 hours, but I do not have the same energy in terms of lifting weights and hitting some of the marks that I typically hit when I'm working out. So I keep that in mind as well. And, I think it's interesting to go from that water fasting to the fasting that you went to next, because I've never heard of this. So I don't know if this is something that's a European thing, but I'd love to have you talk about the Sardine Fast. Sardines, a tiny superfood that transforms your health. So for people who are not aware, I remember growing up, I had an uncle and he would eat sardines, and they were in this little metal can, and you would pull this tab and then it would come back and they would all be lying there, like one after another, just lying there with their eye looking up at you. And it used to freak me out. And I would think, I don't think I could ever eat a sardine, but you love them, the eyes in or not.
I always love sardines, to be honest. I love fish, I love seafood. And we had this conversation in Vienna, when you remember. I love them, and I remember. Okay, there's a Sardine Fast, and actually it was a doctor from the US. There was a doctor from the US. I remember this article, and I wanted to Google. I wanted to see the YouTube videos, but it was not possible because the network was so poor. Then okay, anyway, I go to a shop, and maybe we can show a picture. I uploaded 2 pictures with sardines. So I said, okay, I don't have access to fresh sardines, so I'm going to buy sardines in a can. And these are actually in Italy. I bought them in Italy, but these are sardines from Portugal. They're very famous. They're very good quality from the Atlantic Ocean. And they're an olive oil. For me, it was important they're an olive oil and not in any seed oil like sunflower oil or something. So I bought a high quality of them, actually 20 cans, because I had no idea how hungry I am. I still have plenty of them. And but I bought 20 cans and some lemons. So we had some lemon juice on them. And the reason I started, as I said, okay, I go down to the ferry. So there's one day I have to travel. Then I'm one day on the ferry, and then there's another day to travel down the south of Sicily. So I said, should I continue to water fast? I said, I feel dizzy. Maybe it's not good driving my truck this long distance, and I don't know how the sea is. Maybe it's a lot of waves, and then you're fast and you don't feel good. And so I said, okay, I do something different. I said, okay, I buy some sardines, and the first day I only had 2 cans of sardines, so it's not much, not really much. 2 small cans, I guess. In one can there are 4 small sardines. They're inside without a head. The head is gone. So small 4. I had only 2 cans, not more. I feel good. I was not hungry anymore. They tasted very good. It's actually, as I said, very good quality. I felt very, very good. On the second day, this was the day on the ferry. This was Friday. On the day in the ferry, I had 5 cans. I had 5 of them because it was 14 hours on the ferry. And there's nothing to do. You're in your cabin. You walk a little bit. Your dog on the deck, but there's nothing to do. And so I had 5. 1, 2, 3. I brought 3 with me, and I picked up another 2. Yeah, I had 5 cans of them on Friday, and I had another 3 of them on Saturday. So I did it a 72-hour sardine fast, sardine and water. So I did drink water, and I had the sardines, and really a few small cans. It's not many calories, and you feel really good. And the advantage was more power was coming back, so I could work out. So I could make push-ups and stuff like that in the cabin. I could do some workout in the cabin. I could do some workout on the deck on the boat. So this was really cool. I was full of energy, no cravings at all. No cravings at all. I had a coffee in the morning on the boat, and I had a coffee in the morning when we were in the harbor. So coffee I had 1 a day, but the rest of the day about 3.5 liters of water. Maybe I mentioned during the water fast, when I have been on this hot spring, I had 4.5, 5 liters of water every day, something like that. Because as I said, in the hot spring, you're sweating a little bit, so I had more water. And during the sardine fast, I had about 3.5 liters of water, and just the sardines. And I bought a lot of lemons, but I didn't use them, to be honest. I didn't use them. Yeah, that's a Sardine Fast. And it's a really good option because you get energy. They're full of omega acids. Omega acids is also good, especially when you do a fast. And especially when you do a fast and you have some issues, maybe you have some health issues or you're taking some pharmaceuticals. You know, when you do a fast, then your body's detoxing, meaning you come in so-called autophagy. I don't know how to think. Autophagy is a Greek word. It means when you don't eat, then your body has the time to really clean your body, get rid of damaged cells, get rid of dead cells, get out of it, eating the old cells and get out of it, and produce new ones. We call it autophagy. I don't know how to say it in English. And then you know in your bloodstream you have a lot of toxic stuff, because when you're losing weight, when you're losing fat, all this toxic stuff, because we our body is storing a lot of fat around the toxic stuff to preserve or to protect our organs. Yeah. So when you get rid of some of this fat, so some of the toxic stuff goes into your bloodstream, meaning it's very toxic. And it's a high risk to get inflammation or get sick. So it's very, very good when you supplementing. And by the way, I did supplementing. By the way, maybe we can talk about a little bit later about it. But with the omega acid, we all know that omega acids is very good to reduce or even avoid inflammation. So that's the advantage of the sardines. You have the energy. It's protein. It's just protein, fat. It's zero carb. That's one of my goals. When I do a fast where I eat something zero carb, because I don't want to push my insulin resistance, because the insulin, you have a lot of cortisol. When you have a lot of cortisol, you feel tired. With the cortisol, you cannot lose weight. So that the goal is to increase, not the cortisol, it's to increase the testosterone, stuff like that. So that's why I love the sardines. You know, energy, healthy fats, omega acids, as I said, protein, everything is there, and you can eat as much as you want. You don't gain any weight. And by the way, Dr. Jack, when we talk about losing weight, especially when I do a water fast or when you do a sardine fast, you're losing weight fast. I had no scale, but I could feel it that I'm losing. But to be honest, most of it is water, because what you do is you empty your glucose storage, because you don't consume any carbs. So you're emptying your glucose storage. And what it means is 1 gram of glucose stores 3 grams of water. So when you get rid of your glucose, the glucose storage in your body, you get rid of a lot of water. So what you're losing in the beginning is just water. It's not fat at all. It's not fat at all. Your body needs some time to adapt to the ketos, meaning burning fat, and your liver is changing the liver and use it as an energy source. But in the beginning, to be honest, it's just water. Most people believe, oh, I lost, I don't know, 4 pounds or 5 pounds. It's just water, because you get rid of the glucose, and this means get rid of the water. Yeah, that's one of the.
Thanks for sharing that. Yeah, I have a question for you. So I know that you've done a number of different, you're typically on a keto, but you've done a number of different things. I eat the same food every day. Like even here, I brought all my food to Europe with me. So I eat a protein shake for breakfast, and then I'll have typically a protein shake for dinner, and then I'll have chicken and capers and berries and arugula for lunch. That's pretty much what I eat. Now I will eat pizza, and then that's it. So I don't really have any other food groups that I add in. So is this a good plan or not a good plan?
Yeah, I mean, I know from my own experience, as you mentioned in the beginning, Dr. Jacqueline, we are both no medical doctors. So it's just my own experience what I share. And I only share things that I experience in my body. It's not about something that I just read or heard or I experience in my body. I found out, and I've been in the nutrition industry already for many, many years. And I found out there is no general nutrition advice for everyone. It depends on different circumstances, sex, age, stress, what you're working, how much you move. And what I found out, very important, what is your blood system? Yeah, I'm seropositive, so I'm a very old blood group. It means I can digest perfectly meat. I'm a meat eater. I have no problems with meat at all. So I'm a meat eater. Blood group A is a mixture. They can eat both. And the B's is the youngest blood group, people that, whatever, I don't want to harm any religion, but when you believe in reincarnation, these are the souls that didn't reincarnate so often. They're just quite young souls. This is plus B. They have good digestion system for carbs, especially for wheat, flour. When they eat pasta and stuff like that. I love pasta. I love chickpeas. I love lenses, but I'm exploding. I cannot eat them. I'm exploding. So I'm very good in digesting meat. But I strongly believe that when you want to be fit, avoid inflammation, not gaining weight, you have to make sure that you don't produce cortisol, and it's all about insulin resistance. And the point is, whenever you eat carbs, it's pure sugar or hidden sugar, it's rice or pasta. At the end, it's just sugar. Then you produce insulin, and then it's difficult to build up muscle and stay healthy. But I guess I'm a fan of keto. Most of the time, keto means about 70% of my calorie intake, more or less, is fat, so healthy fats. It's fat, animal-based fat. But when somebody's not eating animal-based fats, maybe you eat avocados or something like that. That's a good option, I believe. And or dairy, when you have no problem with dairy, like milk, yogurt, or stuff like that, or butter. And then around 25% is protein, and 5% is maximum. I eat maximum 5% is carbs. That's a good choice. But I think everybody should try it out. What fits best. What I didn't know many years ago, and I found in studies, is when you're too high in protein. So because I was eating a lot of lean meat many years ago when I was working out, like chicken or turkey and stuff like that. And I was wondering why it was not working. First of all, I was still craving. So I learned, okay, I have to eat fatty meat. That's one point. It satisfies me much better. That's one thing. And the other thing that I learned is when you're too high in protein and low in carb, then the body splits the protein into sugar. Yeah. So I train my body in the ketos, that my body uses fat as an energy source. That's why I avoid carbs, because as soon my body gets carbs, it goes back to carbs. Yeah, well, it takes some time to go back to the ketos. But what I learned is when you very high in protein and very low in fat, what most people do, very high in protein and very low in fat, then the body splits up your proteins into sugar.
Yeah, it's interesting because you shared that you're a carnivore and I don't eat meat. I can't digest it. It just kind of sits there. So, and I also have ulcerative colitis that's in remission, but that's why I eat the same food, because then I don't have to worry about it. People say, hey, why don't you try this or why don't you try that? Because I might be really not doing well with it. And I have a lot of food allergies as well. So I think depending on what your situation is, speak with a nutritionist. I always say, listen to your body. And if your body's reacting, like you mentioned with chickpeas and lentils, then, that's not something that you can eat. So there's not one answer for everyone.
Absolutely. And as you mentioned, you can do a keto diet without any meat. It's possible, avocados and there are many, or nuts or whatever. There are many healthy stuff like that. And the other thing is, I think, as you said, is we have to try it out what is best for us, yeah, and find out what the best solution is. And just if you have issues with some issues, I would say go on a fast first. Clean your body, do a cleansing, go on a fast, and then try and eat. I don't know this. I strongly believe there's one thing I strongly believe, especially when you stay on a certain diet, or I will say for me it's not a diet, like it's a lifestyle. For me to be keto or carnivore or whatever somebody eating is. I think when you go, let's say for somebody wants to try out keto, low carb, let's say for a month. For example, I said, okay, I want to try it out. I want to lose weight. I want to reduce my inflammation. Whatever drives you. What is really helpful is what helped me and many other people. I know for many other people is when you change something. I always stay, as you mentioned, Dr. Jacqueline. That's what came to my mind is I stay with the same food. It may sound a little bit boring, but I found out, and I heard it from other people too. When you stay always with the same procedure, same time of eating, and the same, more or less of the same food, there's less craving. That's what I found out. I don't know what your experience is. So when I go, for example, when I go on a carnivore diet, it's always the same. Breakfast for me is always the same. Eggs, a lot of eggs, bacon, or grounded beef. Afternoon, grounded beef, making burger patties with bacon and cheese, or I do a ribeye steak. Always the same. I never change it. It's not boring, but it helps me to stay focused. Whenever I change something, maybe I try this and I try this. I don't know. It's my experience and I heard it from many other people. Then the craving starts. Maybe I should do this, and yeah, a little bit, or maybe just one croissant in the morning, or just one ice cream or whatever, and then you're gonna lose. Right? I think it's helpful, as you said, having a certain food where you really feel comfortable. You get nutritions, you get energy, you don't react allergic. Stay with this food all the time. Yeah, why not? Absolutely.
Well, I think it brings up a really good point, which is, are you eating because you are basing happiness around what you're eating and when you're eating? So in other words, you're eating and it's a major event in your life, or are you eating because you're refueling your container, your body? And so I've made that switch because I grew up in a family where we would be dining for hours and sitting and course after course. And now I'm basically just looking at it as I need fuel to work out. I need fuel to exist. And so I'll just put the same protein, peptides, greens, etc. in my diet every day. And I don't have to think about it. And then I have the energy that I need.
Absolutely, Dr. Schindler. You bring a very, very important point. Eating behaviors changed totally. As you said in the beginning, over thousands and thousands of years, food was just there to survive. It was not a fun stuff. It was not a social stuff. It was just there to get energy and survive. And we didn't eat 3 meals a day. 3 meals a day it was brought in by the Rockefeller Foundation. Yeah, we never had 3 meals a day. Even most of the time, hundreds of years ago, we didn't eat every day when we have been hunting. Yeah, so and then later it became a social aspect, sitting together with friends and families and stuff like that in the tribe. It was a more social thing. And now with all this food industry, with this commercial, it's just to suppress our emotions or whatever it is. People eat when they're bored. People eat when they're depressed. Like I have a food addiction, like a drug addiction. It's a food addiction. It changed totally. And people make too much noise around food. There are hundreds of thousands of videos, hundreds of thousands of books. And why make it so complicated? Food is there, as you said, to bring you fuel, to bring you energy, to survive in the day, that you can perform, that you stay healthy and fit. Nothing more. If you do it sometimes together as a social project, yes, but at the end, food is there to give the body what your body needs. Point.
Yeah, you know what I think is interesting, and I don't know the answer to this, Roland. If you think about it, the lungs are always working. The heart's always working. We never say, well, we're going to give the lungs a fast, we're going to give the heart a fast, or our eyes a fast. It's always our intestinal tract. And so what is the mindset behind that? Because all the other body systems are continuing to work, the brain, etc.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And the stomach is only working when you bring in food.
Yeah. So why is it that the fast is needed for the GI system? I mean, I understand because Red's talked about it, you've talked about the trash trucks in our body, taking out the trash and resetting our whole system. But we don't do that with the rest of our systems.
No, we don't need it, because the point is, when you fast, then your body has the energy to take care about all your organs and get rid of the damaged or even dead cells of all your organs. It's cleansing all your organs. That's the point. It's better for your heart, for your liver, for your lungs, for your joints, for your brain. We all know this. So fasting is connected with all your organs, with your whole body system. It's not that your body is just cleansing your stomach, no. It gets rid of all cells in all your bodies, in the whole body, 100%. And that's what they call the autophagy. It's a Greek word, and it means that your body is eating itself, meaning it's just getting rid of the old cells and producing new ones. But it's only possible when you fast, when you don't bring food to the body. Otherwise, your system is And we all know that when you eat something digesting stuff, I mean, depending what you eat, some food is more difficult and more, the body needs more energy, more effort to digest, but the digestion needs a lot of energy. That's why people and myself, we always experience when we fast, we have more energy. There's more energy there. You're more creative. You don't have less brain fog, because most of the energy of the day we need for digesting. That's why the human beings, or especially in the South, do a siesta after heavy food. They always have heavy food here. Or all the animals, a lion, when they eat, they lay down or whatever. Yeah, they're not running anymore. So we need the energy to digest. And when we don't have to digest the body, there's a lot of energy left that you can use to clean your body, or the body does it yourself. The autophagy, you clean your body. You have more energy to be creative on whatever you want to do. Yes.
Absolutely. Thank you, Roland. We are actually coming towards the end of the program, and I'd really love for you to share. We've got new audience members, especially now people are coming in through their mobile device as opposed to being on a laptop or an iPad, etc., tablets. They have the opportunity to join our team and have their own show, and you are overseeing the German market. Can you tell us more?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, thank you. I mean, I guess it was time, after 4 years that USA Global TV and Radio goes more global. I mean, most people are speaking English, is German word for English. Speaking English, most of the people do, but many people don't do. And they feel more comfortable and they can follow special topics when it's in the mother language. It's also easier for the moderators. It's also easier for a guest on the show when he or she can share their wisdom, their knowledge in the mother language. So it was time to go global. And also with languages. Well, we're broadcasting global, I guess 65 countries. We did more than 9,000 shows since broadcasting in 65 countries. But to go in different languages like French, like German, for example. So I had a pleasure to look for people who want to join our team, and I started myself with my co-partner, with Mikke, with my co-moderator. She's from Belgium, so she's German-speaking. Our German show, and I guess today is show number 8 or 9, I'm not quite sure. The Mutmacher show, what in English means the Encourager show. It's a show about bringing people hope and inspiration. Actually, that's what USA Global TV and the Radio is do. Education, hope, and inspiration. That's what we do in German. We bring a lot of guests on our show. Some are musicians, artists, writers, different backgrounds, but also people from more or less from the street who share their story when they have been struggling, when they have self-doubts, when they had anxieties, when they had facing challenges, making decisions, how they overcome their fear and keep going and didn't stop and give up. And that's all about the show, to inspire people. And so we all have moments. We're not superhuman beings. We all have emotions. We all have our moments. And we always say, to be brave is just fear plus the first step. How to do the first step? That's about the show. And luckily, there's another lady who will start next week with her show. And actually, today she's guest on our show, and she will share our story, how she overcomes fear. And at the end, she will also tell about her show. So when you are German-speaking or French-speaking or Spanish-speaking or Italian-speaking, whatever your mother language is, and you want to join us and run your first show, more than welcome, contact us. Maybe you want to be first a guest on our show and get a little bit feeling what's going on there. That was my story. I was invited on a show as a guest, and then I started my career. And as I said in the beginning, I had no experience at all, but I loved what I'm doing, and you get better and better. And yeah, I still talk very fast because a lot of stuff is going on with my brain. Sorry for that. But if you want to join us, contact me. It's office@my name, rolandfriedl.com. For those who are on Spotify, it's ROLANDFRIEDL.com. Office@rolandfriedl.com. Let's connect. If you want to, we can find a solution how you want to run a show. You can run a weekly show, whatever. You can bring your own guests. And just learning by doing. And as I said, if you think that's amazing, no idea how to do it, say yes, make a decision, overcome your fear, and learn it by day. We are here to support you. The whole team on USA Global TV and Radio is here to share their experience and support you. You're more than welcome.
Brilliant. Thank you so much, Roland. And I know your next show is coming up. It's the Mutmacher Show with Mike, and you have a special guest today. So we'll look forward to that. So thank you for being here and sharing your Sardine Fast story.
Yeah, and luckily, it's not smelling over the broadcasting the fish.
We don't smell anything.
But anyway, okay, guys, try the Sardine Fast. Let me know what your experience is. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, Roland. Bye-bye. Thank you, everyone. So if you're new to our network, we have 63 different shows. You can find them all on our YouTube channels. We have 2 of them, USA Global TV and Radio and Dr. Jacqueline Kerbeck. I personally host about 5 shows, and I'm also the founder and president and the listening mentor here. I'm the one who founded this network, and we have a worldwide team, which is why I'm in Greece. I'm traveling around the world saying hello and thank you to all the people who believed in me from the very beginning about 3.5, almost 4 years ago. So if you'd like to, I'm going to bring up the graphic. We'd love to have you subscribe to our channels. It's so easy. Just go over to YouTube and click subscribe and click on the bell so that you're aware of all the shows and programming that we have on USA Global TV and Radio and Dr. Jacqueline Kerbeck. Well, that's a wrap for today. Do come back for our next show, which, as I mentioned, is the Mutmacher Show in German. And we'd love to have you learn German if you don't know how to. Okay, we're signing off for now. We're going to take a listen to some of our sponsors. Take care. Bye.
Which of these 5 statements sounds mostly like you? 1. I often wake up in the middle of the night worrying about my future. 2. I'm angry or resentful towards a specific person. 3. I have anxious, obsessive, compulsive thoughts throughout the day. 4. I have an addiction like smoking, drinking, shopping, sugar, or social media. And 5, I feel that I'm wasting away my life. Hello, I'm Dr. Alkistis Agio, and for over 25 years, I've been coaching and training people from all over the world to transform their fears, insecurities, anxiety, and anger into mental and emotional freedom. I'm confident that my simple 3-step method based on Greek philosophy can help you to transform into the joyful, confident, free human being that you deserve to be. I want to invite you to join my weekly online coaching group to finally get the results that you want. Look, you've tried it alone so far and you've had some okay results, but let's face it, you're still feeling stuck right now, spinning your wheels. Einstein said that insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. Now, unless you realize this as a fact, that you are a prisoner of your own mind, you can't move forward. I'm here to support you, as well as the whole community that we are co-creating. Stop feeling stuck. Stop feeling depressed. You don't have to do it alone, and alone isn't working anyway. Sign up today, and I'll meet you on the inside of our amazing weekly group call. I guarantee that you'll make progress from the very first session.
In a noisy world, true connection begins with listening. Elevated listening transforms every conversation in just 5 simple steps. Pause and breathe. Set your intention. Listen with curiosity. Reflect back. Agree on one next step. Join the Listening Mentor on Let's Finally Talk with Dr. Jacqueline Kerbeck, the Listening Mentor, where we help you find inner peace, one conversation at a time. Streaming every day. Let's Finally Talk TV show with Dr. Jacqueline Kerbeck, only here on USA, Global TV and Radio. Subscribe to our YouTube channels to watch and engage with all our content.
Ever dreamed of hosting your own TV show, sharing your story with a global audience? Now's your chance to shine. At USA Global TV and Radio, we make it easy for you to create, host, and broadcast your very own TV show. Whether you're a storyteller, entrepreneur, or industry expert, we help you bring your vision to life. With our exclusive interview, live streaming, and podcasting training, you'll gain the skills and confidence to captivate your audience. Our global platform ensures your voice is heard worldwide. Join our community of creators who are already making an impact, one show at a time. Step into the spotlight. Host your own TV show on USA Global TV and Radio. Book your discovery call today at usaglobaltv.com. Copyright 2025 USA Global TV and Radio. All rights reserved. Terms and conditions apply. To learn more, visit usaglobaltv.com. Thank you, viewers and listeners of USA Global TV and Radio, for joining us today. We're honoured to have your time and attention as part of our global community. At USA Global TV and Radio, we believe in the power of authentic conversations, meaningful connections, and creating a world of possibilities together. Want to be part of something bigger? Join our team of elevated listeners at usaglobaltv.com, a space where your voice matters and your ability to listen transforms relationships. Stay connected with us across all our platforms for thought-provoking discussions, expert insights, and empowering stories. Subscribe to our channels at youtube.com/c/USAGlobalTV. Follow us on social media and explore the endless opportunities we're creating for growth, learning, and inspiration. Together, we're not just broadcasting, we're building bridges and changing lives one conversation at a time. For inquiries, contact us at info@usaglobaltv.com. Music by Johnny Dies. Produced by Executive Producer and Director Dr. Jacqueline Kerbeck. Voiceover by Mike Porter. Creative Direction by Paul Garcia. All rights reserved. Copyright 2025. Visit usaglobaltv.com to view our full terms and conditions.